what was left? So I hope the screen is visible to you, and so is the slide. I hope the presentation is visible. Is it? Kindly let me know. Can you respond, Rosemary?
It's visible.
Okay, thank you. So we had covered all these topics in yesterday's session, and we were to start from women entrepreneurs. So who are women entrepreneurs? Women entrepreneurs means whenever women or a group of women initiate, organize, or operate a business enterprise. The most popular definition of women entrepreneur is the one which is given by Ruhani J. Alice, and the same definition has been a bit amended by the government of India as well, which says that an enterprise owned and controlled by women having a minimum financial interest of 51% in the capital and giving employment to at least 51% of women are the enterprises which can be called as women enterprises. So to be a women entrepreneur, it is important that you should hold at least 51% stake in the organization, and you should give at least 51% employment to women. This is an adaptation of the definition which was given by Rouhani, which said that women entrepreneurship is based on women participation in equity and employment. Now, this equity and employment, the share of the equity and employment has been specified by Government of India, which is at least 51%. So, who are women entrepreneurs? A women entrepreneur, or the characteristics of women entrepreneur. What are the characteristics of women entrepreneur? Women entrepreneur need to be confident, because it's a man's world and it is not easy to survive on your own. You need to be confident to fight out the odds, to get through the odds. Women entrepreneurs need to be creative and innovative. The entire system of entrepreneurs is based on innovations. You can survive and grow in the market only when you are coming up with innovative products, innovative services, innovative ways of, or innovative processes or methods of delivering those products or services, or you are coming up with any innovative market, as we had discussed in yesterday's session, right? So they need to be creative and innovative, otherwise there's no space for you. You will be wiped out of the market even if you manage to enter it. You won't be able to survive it for long unless you are creative and innovative. It is important that you have or you desire some economic independence. Only then you'll be able to establish yourself with strong grit. You need to create jobs for others, because that's a prerequisite of being a women entrepreneur. You have to accept challenges, you have to be ambitious, hardworking, patient, and a motivator. You have to motivate yourself and you have to also motivate others. You need to be adventurous, because it's going to be a roller coaster ride. It's going to be, there will be ups, there will be downs in the business. It's not going to be a stable journey. So you have to be adventurous. You should, the concept of entrepreneur or the journey of entrepreneurship should give you thrills. You should be adventurous. You should be conscious of your decisions. You should be conscious of what you're doing. So you need to be conscious. You need to be alert. You need to be educated. You should be intelligent to survive, to fight out the odds. Why is it so that we are studying women entrepreneurs, or over the years, why is it so that, the significance of women entrepreneurs have, taken taken the center stage because of two major reasons. One, women are an untapped source of economic growth. As per the definition of economic activities and non-economic activities, you must be knowing that the work that women do, that housemakers do, that housewives do not get counted in economic activities, right? So their contribution, their effort, their hard work is not contributing to the GDP. So when you take those housewives or homemakers out of their uh, boundaries and take them into the market and let them grow or survive and engage themselves into an economic activity, definitely the GDP of the country is going to rise. So it is an untapped source of economic growth. The reason being, the reason for its significance is because they do not only come out of their own boundaries, they also ensure that there are other women who come out of their boundaries, because the very basic definition of women entrepreneur is what, that they have to give employment to at least 51% women. So there is initiative for other women also to join the organization. They are in demand, they are required at such organizations which are led by women. So there are opportunities lying for them. There are incentives to step out of their shell. So they create new jobs for whom? For the homemakers, for the housewives, and they have different solutions to the same problems. You know, they think differently. Women think differently. Their approach to the same problems are much different from the approaches of men. So there are different solutions brought to the table by women entrepreneurs. Okay, like for instance, you must have seen that movie, Mission Mangal. Okay, in case you have, there were quite a few scientists involved in that mission, women scientists involved in that mission, and their approaches to even a scientific problem were quite different. Those were all generated from their kitchens or their household experiences, and they did work out at the end of the day, right? So they provide different solutions to the same problem or to the existing problems. Men think alike and women think in a different way. So that's how. Also, because they've been neglected in the society and social sciences, they've not been provided with equal opportunity. They've had lower participation in the economic activities. They haven't been engaged in different industries. There have been men focused or mainstream research and policies and programs. So they've not been given their due uh, recognition. So that is why women entrepreneurs, or the significance of women entrepreneurs over the years has taken center stage. What are the factors that determine whether women entrepreneurs, their participation, the participation of women entrepreneurs? There's this demand side, that is the market sources, family policies, whether they will allow them or not, they'll support them or not, institutional framework, the government regulatory frameworks, and the political framework, how much uh, supportive are they, how much uh, friendly are the policies. And then the supply side, there should also be available suitable women for the required organizations. So there should be availability of suitable individuals who could take up this job. They need to occupy entrepreneurial roles. There are other factors which influence women entrepreneurship, family culture and traditions. For instance, you see in Punjabis and in Sindhis, or even in Gujaratis, they have a culture wherein they promote businesses for women as well, because traditionally the system has been based like that. Traditionally, their culture has been based like that. Geographical and social factors as well influence women entrepreneurship, caste system. For instance, not in Brahmins or Kshatriyas, but in Vaishyas, there has been a culture of even women participation in business. So they affect it. Government aids and policies also decide if the government is supportive, if the government promotes women entrepreneurs, then there will be more participation from them. And then finally, inherent capabilities and efficiencies. If you belong to a place where there are a lot of women entrepreneurs, if you come from a caste which promotes women entrepreneurship, even if the government has a lot of aids and assistance for you, that does not necessarily mean that you will succeed as a women entrepreneur. If you have it within you, if you are efficient enough, if you are capable enough, you are surely to rise. Otherwise, no. So there are certain push factors which ensure that women are there in as entrepreneurs, which is if there is death of the bread earner, if the male party is not there, male counterpart is not there, and it's more of a compelling reason for them to enter into business. If there's permanent inadequacy in the income of the family, permanent inadequacy, if somebody loses their job, if they are on suspension or something like that, then they have to take up the responsibility. If there's sudden fall in the family income, a family of four, wherein the daughter was earning quite a good salary, but then she gets married off, then the other women in the family might have to take up, either the mother or maybe the younger sister. So if there's sudden fall in the family income, then also they have to, they're forced, they're somewhere compelled to take it up. And then there are certain pull factors which attract women entrepreneurs. For instance, if there is need and perception of women's liberation, equity, if you're conscious, if you want liberty, if you want equity, if you wish to gain recognition, importance, and a social status, if you wish to have economic independence, you don't want to be dependent on your parents or on your spouses, to utilize your free time or education, a lot of people have engaged themselves, and then their desire to evaluate their talent if they wish to use their talent. So now there are certain categories of women entrepreneurs. See, I want to make it clear that there are a lot of new things where here which I am teaching you and might not be given in your book. Okay, for instance, the topic that I'm going to cover, which is the categories of women entrepreneurs. Okay, but when you get a question on women entrepreneur, it is sometimes very difficult to frame an answer um in the given words, in the given word limit. You fall short of content. So this is, even though this is not being given in your book, this is a very important topic of women entrepreneur, and this will be an extra topic that you can mention in your answers to enhance it. Okay, so when we are studying women entrepreneurs, and there's a dedicated chapter for this in your book, why not uh, study the entire concept related to it? So these are short topics, and I'll quickly finish it up. Uh, so, sorry. For the categories of women entrepreneurs. So, women entrepreneurs are divided into 5 categories. First is the affluent women entrepreneurs. Who are the affluent entrepreneurs? Affluent entrepreneurs are the ones who already have funds and finances to source their uh, businesses. For instance, if you see Shark Tank, Namita Thapar, her father had established M-Cure Pharmaceuticals and she had just overtaken it, right? For instance, Gauri Khan, she is the wife of a very wealthy person, Shah Rukh Khan, and she had the available financial aid to start the enterprise. So, Isha Ambani, she's the daughter of a very affluent person. So, that's how affluent entrepreneurs have the required financial aid and the necessary resources to start enterprise and take the business risk. They can afford to take business risk. The second category of women entrepreneurs are pull factors entrepreneurs. Pull factor entrepreneurs are the ones who are educated women who live in urban areas. They might or might not have work experience, but because they are educated, because there are opportunities lying, therefore they want to become an entrepreneur. With the help of certain financial institutions and commercial banks, they finance their businesses and they take up this challenge. Pull factor entrepreneurs, for instance, Vinita Singh, IIT graduate, IIM postgraduate. She wanted to take it up. She failed in two businesses, succeeded in the third one, sugar cosmetics. Right? Falguni Nair, she was educated. She was, I think, the managing director of Kotak Mahindra for a long period of time. Right? She wanted to start on her own, owing to her experience, owing to her education, and she did, and she did wonders. The founder of NICA. Push factor entrepreneurs. Push factor when they have to take it out of compulsion, when they're compelled to do it, so as to overcome their financial difficulties. For instance, there is Kalpana Saroj. She faced a lot of abuse at her, in-laws' place, and then she took up. She fought back. She left their house, and then she went back to her parents' house. Started something of her own, and she's the chairperson of Kamani Tubes. She's also the recipient of Padma Shri Award. She's also one of the board of directors of Bhartiya Mahila Bank. So she, out of compulsive situations, because she had nobody to look after, she was disowned by her in-laws. She had to take it up. So these are push factor entrepreneurs. Then there are the other categories, rural entrepreneurs. These people who belong to rural areas, they choose a business which suits their resource and knowledge. When the resources are available, when they already have knowledge about it, there's low investment with minimum risk, and it does not require any special skills. For example, in Bihar, there is this district called Anantpur where Anita Devi started uh, Madhopur Farmers Producers Company Limited. Now this whole area is called as Mushroom Village. So she not only started growing mushroom and exporting and selling the same, but she also involved all the other women of the local neighborhood and ensured that they have livelihood for their own. Self-employed entrepreneurs. These are uneducated women. They fall below poverty line. Okay. They choose tiny and small enterprises which are convenient to manage and adequate for the sustenance of her family. Pabi Ben Rabari. This bag that she's holding in her hand is known as Pabi Ben bag, right? Godavari Satpute. She started manufacturing things out of waste and made it up to her. What is difference between self-employed entrepreneurs and rural entrepreneurs? Rural entrepreneurs might not necessarily be uneducated. They can be educated, whereas self-employed entrepreneurs are uneducated. Okay, so Anita Devi holds double MA degree. She holds double MA degree, whereas self-employed entrepreneurs are falling below poverty line, so there's no question of being educated. Okay, what is the role of women entrepreneurs in society? Pandit Jawaharlal Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said that when women moves forward, the family moves forward, the village moves forward, and the nation moves forward. So, like I discussed yesterday, like we discussed yesterday, that while while giving opportunity to a man, while giving employment to a woman, you're not just giving employment to the women, but also to her children, your to the entire family. So what are the role of women entrepreneurs in society? They generate employment. They contribute to the economic development. I've already discussed this. Non-economic activities are now converted into economic activities. There is better utilization of resources, improved quality of life. Better utilization of resources, because if you notice clearly, carefully, women are good at optimum utilization of resources, be it at home, be it even in the office. They ensure minimum wastage. They ensure minimum wastage, so they utilize the resources better. There's improved quality of life, because they're very conscious of their spending. They ensure that when they earn, there is some luxury in the house. So there is improved quality of life. They already have a inbuilt. Okay. Next is, what are the factors responsible for increase in female entrepreneurs in India? Nature of entrepreneurship. Nature of entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship provides flexibility. Entrepreneurship provides flexibility, and that's what women needs, right? In a 9 to 5 job, they might not be able to do justice to their job as well as to their family. It becomes difficult for them, right? But the very basic nature of entrepreneurship is that it provides flexibility, so they can manage it even with their with their kids, with their families, from home. At times they might give less time to office, and so on and so forth. There are people to take care of their responsibilities. So the very basic nature of entrepreneurship is responsible for increase in women entrepreneurs. Empowerment. These days, the past 2 decades, there's too much stress on women empowerment. So because of this stress, because there is empowerment happening, because the number of girls which are sent to schools, to higher education, to colleges, to institutes is increasing. They're being given, they're being provided an opportunity to study, they are being provided an opportunity to travel, they are being provided an opportunity to compete with men, with their counterpart men. There is more empowerment happening for past 2 decades, and therefore there is rise in women entrepreneurs. Social conditions. Now we see less of female feticide. Now we see that people do not differentiate between men and women, or between a boy and a girl. So the social conditions have been changed. They are allowed to go out. They are allowed to study abroad. They are allowed to stay in hostels. So the social conditions have changed over the years. There is more literacy and education. They're multitask oriented. They can write an email at the same time, be on the phone while even cook at home. So they're multitask, they're better at managing multiple tasks. They the very inherent nature of women is that they are very patient. They are patient with the process. And just yesterday in the class, in the session, we did the 5 P's of entrepreneurs. First was persistence, and the second was what? Patient. It is required for the entrepreneurs to be patient. And women's inherent characteristic is what? They are very patient. They're born to be patient. So it becomes easier for them. They are very good with branding and marketing themselves. They don't need any marketing PRs or agents. They can market themselves very well. So they're good with marketing and branding themselves. They can praise themselves. They can praise the products themselves. They can advertise it to their neighbors. They can talk and think and go on only about their products and services. So they're very good in branding and marketing themselves. They structural shift as in they are being allowed to take childcare leave, they are being allowed to take maternity leave, they are being allowed to take extraordinary leaves, and so on. It is simpler. Blending of career and life ambitions. They do not start an entrepreneurship mostly out of their need. They do it out of joy. Whatever they enjoy, they make it their life ambition. If they enjoy cooking, they start their YouTube channel. If they enjoy gardening, they start their YouTube channel. If they enjoy art and craft, that's what they start. So they do not run after line they do not run after a career. Rather, they blend it with their life ambitions or hobbies. They can relate to customers' needs better. They understand customer needs better. Why? Because even the customers are mostly women. For a house of four where other three may be male, the fourth one, which is female, goes and purchases from grocery to clothes to everything else. So because they are the customers mostly, the customer base is represented mostly by women. So it is easier for them to relate to the customer needs. There is integrity of relationships. They value relationships. They value networks more than men. Women are more social, and entrepreneurship is meant for social people. You have to socialize, build your networks. They're more resourceful. What are the segments of women entrepreneurs? There are three segments of women entrepreneurs: upper crust entrepreneurs, mid rung entrepreneurs, and grassroots entrepreneurs. Now, yesterday, when we were doing the theories of entrepreneurship, we discussed economic entrepreneurship, wherein management guru Richard had, you know, gained much importance because in his pursuit of explaining economic entrepreneurship, he also included beggars as entrepreneurs, right? And I tried a bit to explain you how beggars could also be an entrepreneur, because they are also trying to, even without a fixed and stable income, they are also trying to improve their economic condition. Now, with this segmentation, you would be able to understand it better, I guess. Grassroots entrepreneurs, upper, mid-rung, and grassroots. Grassroots entrepreneurs are the ones whose turnovers are up to rupees 5 lakhs. They are work focused, they are hungry for formal skills and training, and they need domestic family support or financial support and better infrastructure. For instance, a tailor in your neighborhood, a woman tailor in your neighborhood, she will fall under grassroots entrepreneurs. Mid-run, whose turnover aspirations are somewhere between 50 lakhs to 1 crore. They are driven by the need to build reputation and satisfy their creative instincts, but they do not want to scale higher. They do not want to scale too much because they think that, after expanding themselves for beyond rupees 1 crore, they will neglect the family. Their children will get ignored, their family will get ignored. So they do not have high aspirations to rise. Upper crust entrepreneurs are the one whose turnover aspirations are 5 crores and above. They belong to the topmost social class, are very well educated, have financial aids and supports and assistance, and can manage to take high risks. And then these are certain financial assistance which is provided by the government of India to the women entrepreneurs: Mahila Udyog Nidhi, Stree Shakti Package, Awake, Five, Self-Help Groups, Tread, Swarn Jayanti, Gram Swaraj Yojana, Rashtriya Mahila Kosha, etc., etc. So these are very technical. I'm not getting into the detail because this is completely theoretical. So you have to read about this. This is given in your book as well. You have to read about this, but this completely theoretical, and you can just give it a read and memorize the same. There's no concept involved which is to be discussed by me. Certain obstacles which are faced by women entrepreneurs: they have lack of role models. Not many women entrepreneurs have succeeded or are there as set examples. They have a weak social position. Not everyone listens to them. Their opinions are mostly not sought, and even if sought, are not well considered. They're least heard in the families. They have lack of access to finance. Lack of access to finance. Their husbands might not support them. Their fathers might not give anything to them in inheritance. Everything goes to the male child, even the Supreme Court judgments and whatever it is. There's still no inheritance in a country like India, right? It is assumed by them already that it has to go to their brothers, and therefore they do not even show any interest. So they have lack of access to finance, no inheritance. Role demands: they have a lot of roles to perform: role of a mother, role of a wife, role of an employee, role of a daughter-in-law, role of a daughter. They have a lot of uh, roles to perform. Type of education, even yet, even though we talk about empowerment, even though we talk about enhancement in education and literacy, the fact still remains true in most of the states or in overall country, that mostly they are not provided the kind of education that their male counterparts are in most of the households. Not talking about Kerala for sure, but any other state for that matter of reason. If I talk about the state that I belong to, Bihar, all the men they are sent to all the boys they are sent to CBSE schools, to ICSE boards, but when it comes to women, they are sent to Bihar board because the education is free, the fee is nominal. Rather, the government pays back 25,000 rupees in the account of the parent or in the account of the child when they pass 10th. Women child 10th. When they pass 12th, again 25,000 is credited to their account under the scheme of Kanya Uthan Yojana. When they graduate, again 25,000 rupees is credited to their account. When they do post graduation, again 25,000 rupees is credited. So the only incentive that most of the parents have to send their daughters to complete their higher education is to get those 25,000 rupees credited to their account after they graduate or post graduate or clear their boards, and therefore they are sent not to good universities but to only government schools. Okay, so there's difference in the quality of education, in the kind of education, in the type of education that they are provided. Gendering of entrepreneurship. Most of the entrepreneurship, for instance, all these contractual or civil construction or architect kind of uh, professions are considered to be male dominated. These are considered to be not meant for women entrepreneurs. You only see women entrepreneurs as going into boutiques, going into saloon, going into beauty sector, etc., etc. So we've genderized even entrepreneurship. So these are the basic obstacles which are faced by women entrepreneurs. With this, I finish whatever I had to teach you through my slides. Now I will quickly go to the syllabus and see what the study material has to offer us. So most of the topics I've discussed already, and the others are purely theoretical. So I'll just guide you which ones to pay more attention to and which ones to ignore as such. So any queries from whatever I've taken up today, whatever I've taught today from the topic of women entrepreneurs? I'm open to questions if any, please. Jacob and Rosemary. No? No queries? Can I proceed further? I hope I'm audible. It would be great if you could, respond once.
Yeah, it's audible, man.
Okay, so I will go ahead now.
Yeah.
So this is your block. You have a total of 3 blocks here. Jacob, you can mute yourself now. So we have a total of 3 blocks and 13 units here in MER2. Your unit 1 discusses about entrepreneurship concept and theories. In yesterday's session, my previous first slides were focused on who's an entrepreneur, what are the characteristics of entrepreneurship, about innovation, about adaptation. We had done it all in yesterday's session. In the second set of slides that we did yesterday, I had discussed theories of entrepreneurship with you. So unit 1 we have covered in full way. We, instead of discussing as given in your book the theories of entrepreneurship, I had told you already that in the book they've explained the theories as per the management guru, but I had categorized it in a more simpler manner: social theory, sociological theory, psychological theory, resource based theory, opportunity based theory, innovation theory, economic theory. So I have already taught you the same, but I had categorized it in a way which would make it simpler for you to explain in the examination. So Max Weber and Schumpeter, the innovative theory. So all this I have already covered. So I'm quickly scrolling down. Characteristics of entrepreneurship, I'd already discussed. They need to be committed, determined. They must have a desire for responsibility. They must be opportunity obsessed. They must assume risk. They should be self-confident or they should also be self-reliant. They should be creative. They should be energetic. They should be self-motivated. They should be futuristic or foresighted, so on and so forth. This too we had discussed. Moving to Unit 2, let's see. Unit 2 is about entrepreneur, the origin and the concept, definition, nature. We have done it all. One which we've not discussed is entrepreneurs and managers. So I'll quickly take this up. Types of entrepreneurship we had done. Intrapreneurship, I had explained you with the example of HP and Apple, Steve Wozniak, right? And then classification of entrepreneurs we had done. Myths we hadn't, so I'll quickly discuss this. Here, the difference between entrepreneur and manager. Entrepreneurs have to be visionary because entrepreneur is the one who's initiating the business, who's starting the business, whereas managers are the one who run the business. So they set objectives. Entrepreneurs plan, whereas managers do policy formation. Entrepreneurs have to take risk and they have to frame strategies for dealing with that risk, strategies to have a competitive advantage. Entrepreneurs have to seize the opportunity, and managers are the ones who communicate those opportunities with the other employees. Entrepreneurs have to be tactical, and managers have to be organized. Entrepreneurs are good at interpersonal communication. They can communicate it to the manager, they can communicate it to the employees, and managers motivate. They do not just communicate, they also motivate. Entrepreneurs are idealists, whereas managers are controller. They have to control the activities of the employees, they have to control the work structure in the organization. Entrepreneurs have to be determined, and managers have to be good administrators. Entrepreneurs need to negotiate, they have to be good with negotiation, and managers have to be skilled. They need to have knowledge. Only then they will be able to assist the entrepreneurs in negotiations. Entrepreneurs need to be committed and they need to be generalist. Entrepreneurs have to be innovative and managers have to be loyal to the entrepreneurs so as to implement the innovation, so as to create an innovative space for others. Entrepreneurs have to motivate and they have to implement. Entrepreneurs, if they fail, that means there will be a huge loss in the organization, whereas for managers, failure does not have much to do with them. They are just employees. Entrepreneurs make the entrepreneurship or make the enterprise their growing concern, and managers have to only act disciplined. So these are the differences between entrepreneurs and managers. Intrapreneurship, I had already told you yesterday. Intrapreneur is the entrepreneur within the organization. With the example of Steve Wozniak, And with the example of or with the example of HP and Apple, we had already done this yesterday. Drone entrepreneurs, Fabian entrepreneurs, imitative, we'd done it all yesterday. So there's nothing new here. Myths of entrepreneurship. Certain myths of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are doer, not thinkers. In the initial few slides that I had shown you yesterday, we had done certain characteristics of entrepreneurs with the help of images, wherein one of the image was they have to be thinkers as well as doers. If they think but don't act, they will fail. If they act without thinking, they will again fail. So they have to be doers as well as thinkers. They have to um, manage both. Entrepreneurs are born, not made. That's myth number two. This doesn't happen like that. After studying so much about entrepreneurship, you must have surely read about, or you must have come across one of the most repetitive concept or feature of entrepreneur, which is education. Because you're educated, because your education complements your entrepreneurship journey, there are high chances of succeeding in the market. So they are not born, they are made. Okay, they are made by situations, they are made by certain compelling forces, and they are made by certain pull forces. Myth 3, entrepreneurs are always inventors. No, not always. Sometimes they also adapt. Under the type of entrepreneurs that we had done, we had discussed about imitative or adaptive entrepreneurs, wherein I gave you the example of auto brake test in Mahindra XUV, right? So they are they're not always inventors. Sometimes they also copy the things that have been invented by others. Entrepreneurs are academic and social misfits. Okay. Entrepreneurs are academic and social misfits. No, not always. It doesn't mean that they have to be, academically very excellent or socially very ineffective. No, it can happen the other way around as well. They must fit the profile. No, sometimes even if they do not fit, they happen to do uh, pretty well in their field. So it doesn't mean that there's a checklist and they should always uh, tick all the checklists of entrepreneurships. All that entrepreneurs need is money. No, sometimes all that they need is maybe motivation, maybe support. All entrepreneurs need is luck. No, it's also hard work, it's also education, it's also their determination, it's also their patience, it's also their persistence. It's not a matter of luck always. Okay, so this was unit 2. We had already done almost all the other topics of unit 2 in our slides. Evolution of entrepreneurship in India. Now, this is something that I already discussed yesterday, that unit 3 of your block 1 will deal with completely theoretical part of how uh, entrepreneurship, or when entrepreneurship dates back to India. So how it started, during the British system, or how it has always been there, or the traces of entrepreneurship during the Swadeshi movement led by Gandhiji. So this is all historical and has got nothing for me to teach upon. So this is something that you will have to give a read on your own. The impact of world wars on entrepreneurship, why government should intervene into entrepreneurship every now and then, how entrepreneurship is inbuilt or inherent in certain communities of India, for instance, the Parsis or the Bengalis, etc., etc. So just give it a read. Swadeshi movement, how entrepreneurship had a role to play over there. The emergence of Marwaris, who are mostly entrepreneurs. The enterprises in South India and in other states. Give it a read. This is an interesting topic, but completely theoretical, or historical rather. Democratic state development and entrepreneurship. So this is nothing. I will basically explain you. Uh, this topic deals about how the growth and development of entrepreneurship is linked to the growth and development of the country or of the state. Okay, how the state or the center could provide facilities or assistance to entrepreneurs so that they could flourish in the Indian economy, how their contributions play a major role in development of the community. Because most of the entrepreneurs, we are not just talking about, the high rise entrepreneurs or the big entrepreneurs like Ambani or Adani or Tatas or Birlas. When we talk about entrepreneurs, the major entrepreneurs consist of micro, small and medium sector enterprises. The MSMEs consist of most of the enterprises. And these MSMEs are based in the nooks and corners of India, not just in the metropolitan cities. So they are the one which bring balanced regional growth to India. They are the one which help in providing employment to the youth of the India. They are the one which help in upliftment of the local community. They are the ones which help in upliftment of the state. They are the one which help India or a nation in backward integration. They are the one which help in balancing the society, okay, by distributing the income in a fairer manner. So they have a greater role to play. Entrepreneurship and small enterprises, their role in economic development. So this is what the basic concept or the base of this topic starts from unit 4 and it continues to unit 5. Okay, so regional balance and rural development, I was just telling you that whereas the large or the big enterprises are based in metropolitan cities, the smaller ones focuses on the nooks and corners of the nation, and they try to balance out the difference between the richer and the poorer, right? They help in uplifting the backward society. They help in backward integration of the nation. They help in balanced regional growth and development. So this is all about role of entrepreneurship and small enterprises. So I'm sure you'll be able to give it a read and do it on your own. This is a very basic topic. With this, we finished block 1. Moving ahead to block 2. Does anybody has any queries from these topics? Unit 5 is significantly more relevant from your examination point of view. So what are the various financial assistance provided by the government to support MSMEs? What are the problems that are being faced by MSMEs? Give it a good read, because that's more significant from the point of view of examination. So moving ahead to block 2, unit 6, entrepreneurship, the policies and the strategies. Now the policy basis in the pre-independence area, post-independence area is not relevant, but you have to do small scale industries in the post-independence area. How are they doing now? How are they flourishing? What are the various government assistances provided by them? Strategies to promote rural entrepreneurship under 5-year plans. I request you to kindly go through this topic from the website, okay, from the MSME's website, because most of the 5-year plans which are given in your book are not updated. Okay, so refer to the website of MSMEs and you will find the latest data. Then what are the outcomes of policies and strategies and the shortcomings? Major outcome is what? With the more financial assistances being provided by the government, they've been flourishing and doing really well. They've been given a lot of subsidies. They've been given a lot of opportunities in the form of not just subsidies in tax or tax rebates, but also subsidies in power, electricity, in land, in setting up their factories, in giving them other opportunities to visit abroad and attend the seminar and conferences related to their areas. So a lot of assistance have been given to them, and therefore they've been flourishing and doing really well. Moving ahead to Unit 7, Market Economy and Entrepreneurship. So all that we've done in our session, covered in our session, is market economy. We've only discussed about market economy. Traditional, command, and mixed economy are not the ones to be given more importance over here. So we've discussed the market economy, as in all our discussions from yesterday's session was rested upon market economy. How does the market economy work? What are the uh, facilities or opportunities that an economy brings to the entrepreneurs? What is entrepreneurship as a process? Why is entrepreneurship needed? What is the relevance of creativity and innovation? Various economic and non-economic factors, how non-economic factors have been now converted into economic factors with the help of women entrepreneurship. Business environment, we have been discussing it. We've discussed it in complete detail in unit in MER01 in the last two sessions. So these are basic details and we've already done it. Coming up to Unit 8. Management information and its effectiveness in promoting entrepreneurship. Now, there's one topic that we haven't discussed yet, we haven't covered yet, but I will quickly make you understand the basis or basics of a management information system. What is the purpose of management information system? Management information system basically provides all kind of data. It collects all kind of data and it manages all kind of data related to entrepreneurs. Okay, so the government maintains this information system, wherein all kind of assistance provided by the government, all kind of assistance provided by several business association, all kind of assistance provided by several individual parties or even big players are listed for the help of the growing entrepreneurs, for the help of the MSMEs. So all the networkings, supply chain related information, any kind of assistance that could be provided to the uh, that needs to be provided to the MSMEs, and that needs to be readily available for them, is maintained under a system which is called as management information system. Okay, so management information system is nothing but a software which consists of all data. It collects data, it monitors data, it updates data, it provides data to the interested stakeholders or interested parties, and that is how it is being held. So I'm just explaining you the basics, otherwise this completely theoretical, so you'll have to read it on your own. So this is how MIS works. So MIS is now everywhere. There is human resource management information system, there is marketing management information system, there is even university management information system known as UMIS. So management information system is a systematic way, a software which in a systematic way collects or gathers data, processes it, monitors it, and ensures that it gets dispersed to the relevant parties for their assistance, for their ready assistance. Entry, survival, and advancement in entrepreneurship. Here, women entrepreneurship and economic development. We've done this. Their need, untapped resource. They create more jobs. They have different solutions to this existing problem. For the programs for developing women entrepreneurship in India, I just discussed TREAD, Awake, Mahila Udyog Yojana, all of that. Categories of women entrepreneurs, growth of women entrepreneurs, so on. Entry in entrepreneurship, gender dimensions, what are the obstacles faced by them. Case studies of successful women entrepreneurs. I had discussed in my topic of women entrepreneurship, there were a lot of women entrepreneurs like Kalpana Saroj, like Pabiben Rabari, like Godavari Satpule, like Isha Ambani. You can, like Vinita Singh, Namita Thapar, Falguni Nair. You can pick up anyone. I've already explained you several examples, several categories of women entrepreneurs. This is important. Women entrepreneurship, what are the barriers they face? This is important. So expect a question from women entrepreneurs. It has been gaining lot of importance, lot of significance, lot of center stage in the recent uh, recent times. So expect one question at least from women entrepreneurs for sure. Entrepreneurship, Indian and the global context. Now, in my yesterday's session itself, I had discussed what is the relevance of entrepreneurs. Even in MER01, for that matter of reason, I had already discussed their importance, how they bring FDIs, foreign direct investment, their contribution to the export, how the exports are rising because of entrepreneurs. They are the ones who are responsible for providing a stable structure to the organization, to the nation. They are the ones which bring foreign exchanges. They are the ones who balance our payments. They are the ones who balances our balance of trade. So it is their contribution. It is on them that the economic conditions of the country is majorly dependent upon. Even yesterday, while we were discussing the economic theory of entrepreneurship, we discussed how economy and entrepreneurship is considered as two sides of the same coin. They go hand in hand. If the entrepreneurs are growing, the economy will also grow. Okay? If the entrepreneurs are doing well, the economy will also do well. If the entrepreneurs are failing, the economy will go through a rough phase. Okay, so how economy and entrepreneurs are two sides of the same coin and are pretty much dependent on each other. They follow the same pattern. Public private partnerships for facilitating entrepreneurship. Again, I had discussed this with you. I even gave you the examples of how public private partnership was brought in India by Dr. Manmohan Singh, which was back then in 95 97 referred as Singaporean model of economy, because Manmohan Singh learned this from, adapted this from Singapore when he saw that um their infrastructural growth or development is due to the triple P concept that they've been following. So in India, it started with the Agra Expressway or the Yamuna Expressway, wherein um, JP Group developed the entire Agra Expressway in the form of a public-private entrepreneur, in the form of public-private partnership with the government of India. Delhi Airport T3, Mumbai International Airport, all of this has been developed under triple P, public-private partnership. So any private enterprise is given the responsibility for the development and maintenance of an infrastructural facility, and they are given the freedom to recover the amount over the years under a financial system as suitable to them. Okay, so this is public private partnership. We've done this in MER 01 as well. Supporting women entrepreneurs. Even in the last class, I told you that there are more than 2 units which are dedicated to women entrepreneurs. So do expect several questions from it. How they do not have access to finance, access to market, how it is being provided by the government, several NGOs, what are the various policies which are supporting women entrepreneurs. I think this is the last unit. Yeah, this is unit 13. So with this, we finish up women entrepreneur was the last unit, right? Okay. So with this, we finish up all the block threes, all the 3 blocks. And in case anyone has any queries, any doubts pertaining to whatever has been covered or whatever has been given in your blogs, in your study material, do let me know. I am open to questions. I'm open to queries, students. Feel free to ask, if any. Jacob and Rosemary, any queries? I repeat again, I am going to share the presentations that I have with RC once the sessions are over, and then they may circulate it to all the students. I'm sure they will circulate to all the students. Any other query? No?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. I would like to apologize to you for the delay in session.
No problem. Absolutely no problem. Sometimes
it was a working
happens.
day.
I know.
I understand that.
And absolutely no problem. It often happens. You can do nothing about that, especially when you are a working person. We have to account for such complexities. So no problem. Absolutely no issues. But basically, 2 things. Thank you for the session and your time, ma'am. Because even on a working day, you have made it possible that this session be held. That itself is a big thing, ma'am. And to the students, just 2 announcements I have to make. One is that I have given the link of all the 3 sessions which have been held till now, the video recordings, and we have uploaded that on YouTube, and the links have been provided on the chat. Yesterday, Rosemary was telling me that she had some difficulty in accessing those from our YouTube channel, which I understand is because there are around 500 videos on that, and we haven't made a playlist as it because it's a complex task to do that. So I have given the link on the chat. Rosemary, I hope you have seen that. And secondly, the attendance link is also there. That also kindly do access and mark your attendance, because that's also an essential administrative process. Madam, kindly, once the sessions are over, as you said, you can share the PPTs and other resources, and we will definitely put it across to our learners. Absolutely no problem.
Sir, since the sessions for MER 1 and 2 are over, I was planning to share the slides of these 2 sessions on weekend. On Sunday, I will share the slide.
Fine, ma'am. Or else you can give it all together also, no problem, ma'am, as per your convenience.
Okay.
Then it will go in one file. We need not send it in 2 or 3 files, which may cause some confusion.
Yes, that would be better, because I also wish to prepare the slide that I couldn't show on the second day of my MER 01 session. So I will prepare the slides on weekend and provide it to them for their revisionary purpose.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We will do one thing. We will upload it to our Google Drive and give the links to all the learners.
Sure.
Of course, we will send it across to the respective regional centers and ask them to distribute it to the learners further. So, Rosemary and Jacob, you have any doubts or any clarifications before we close? From either of you? Okay, I suppose they are clear with it. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for joining in, and we will meet definitely on Monday, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, there is something else that I want to speak to you.
Yeah,
once
sure.
this learners log out.
Okay, okay.
In case you may stop the recording, sir.
Yeah, sure. The learners may kindly log out. The session is over.